Well, here we are. Um, yeah, I figured I'd record this 'cause I'm bored and I have nothing to do in my apartment, which I'm actually leaving now. This is my last little bit in leaving. I had a couple extra thoughts. I've had some time to think for a little bit. Just kind of about kind of the current events and everything else, and I figured I'd put something up 'cause I'm bored. I have nothing better to do on a Sunday, and we I've done a couple DJ sets and I'm fresh off a wedding, and it kind of got me thinking, about just some of the things that are going on, new beginnings and all that. What with the current events, my heart and everything else goes out to everyone that's out there. Honestly, at the heart of the day, we got a problem in America. Honestly, we do. We've had it for a long time. We've had it for a very, very long time. We didn't want to say anything about it. We distracted ourselves with football and golf and glitter lights and Vanderpump Rules and whatever. Just didn't want to get down to the crux and the heart of the problem and deal with it and process it and move on. Now we've had to. It's ugly to the forefront. And myself, as a person of color, it hits me pretty hard compared to because I have a vested interest in it, and it's kind of made me reassess a lot of things in my life, and it's kind of interesting how that worked, how that happened, how that came to light. But while I'm here, I figure I don't want to rant, but I have a whole rant that I could record over it, but the protests needed to happen. Sorry, not sorry. You can say whatever the hell you want about, things probably getting destroyed, whatever. You can make that argument to me all day. You can apologize for that all you want, and try to make that defensive apology to me. Don't. This country was founded on high treason. Don't even try that with me. Don't. It's just I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. And it's not, people think we're living in fear, quote unquote, but some of you should be. You should be living in fear of being held accountable for your actions. The quote unquote cancel culture is what it is because these are people we're trying to hold you accountable. That's the long and short of that. You can have someone in very high regard, meaning you can respect their position, regard their position, want to have them in that power, what have you, but still hold that person or that citizen or that whoever it is accountable for their actions when they mess it up. The two concepts are not mutually exclusive, and we should do that with not just law enforcement, but we should do that with our celebrities. We should do that with our people in power that we quote unquote voted to put there. It, God, so much crap. I mean, I'm tired of having to play defense. I really am. I have to every single day suppress who I really actually am to fit into what the world thinks that I should be. Down to simplest terms, I'm college educated black male who, can't find a job right now. Not for lack of trying. I didn't try to get a job for a couple months, but my grandmother passed away. It's tough when she was the closest person in my life that I had. And then, but that's neither here nor there. I'm overqualified for everything, and the things that they want to put me there, like I'm like, really, really. But that's once again neither here nor there. That's not my argument. My argument is we have a problem. This problem has been there for a long, long time. The fact that not just mask wearing, but mask wearing, the fact that some people want to stand up for just basic human rights and just are asking you not to die and asking you just for some basic respect pisses you off so much. That's a problem to me. And it should be a problem to everyone, really. But apparently it's not. And it bothers me at the end of the day. Yeah, honestly, I I don't care if this video gets suppressed or whatever. I just don't care anymore. And I'm going to start being, for lack of a better way to put it, I'm going to start being a dick to the people who deserve it. I'm going to start calling people out for, being who they are. Activism, quote unquote, is trendy now. So because, and that was me. I'm someone, I did go out and go to several protests and everything else that were in my area. And the one that really kind of stuck out to me was Plano, Texas. The reason it is Plano sticks out to me, it is a very affluent, very, very affluent city in North Texas. It's just south of Allen, Texas, which from Affluenza Kid. And if you don't know that, look it up. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun read. But Plano, Texas is a very affluent neighborhood city. It's huge. It's like 400,000, 500,000 people, whatever, doesn't matter. While they were out there, for the first time, I felt proud that young people were out there. Even millennials, which I am a millennial, by the way. I came of age in the millennium. Young people and millennials were out there finally getting their voice heard. And, people were telling us to shut up. Like, we don't know anything. I'm like, we do know something. But that's just part of what was pissing me off. What really pissed me off was the police were out there, which I didn't mind, but it felt like very patronizing. They were like, "Hey, does everyone want water? Here you go. We got water. I understand it's hot out there, but you don't have to patronize me by giving me water. You're not really getting the message here. I feel like you guys are, you're out there to keep the peace, and I get that. Once again, that's your job. But I feel like you as a person are very patronizing to me. And especially, once again, as a person of color who I'm just asking you in the system to not kill me. That's pretty much it. Just don't kill me. Stop killing me, man. You're saying, well, I'm going to hand you water because, look at me. I'm one of the good ones. And you're not. You're part of the system. Again, double standard, you can point that out all you want, and I understand it's there, but once again, they're not mutually exclusive things. A few bad apples spoils the bunch. I've heard that phrase quite a bit, and I've heard it used against my own people. Yet, anyone we consider in power, we consider them a lone wolf, or what have you, when they're not a lone wolf. It's the system itself. It needs to stop. It needs to get taken out. It needs to get changed. My grandmother did, fought that system in Oklahoma quite a bit. She not only did she fight it, she won quite a bit, quite hard. Anyone who knows me, I'll tell you that story. But my biggest problem is we got a problem in America. And it's there. Once again, it's been there for centuries. We just haven't fixed it. And we need to acknowledge that the problem is there. You need to fix it. And all these taking down statues, all this changing the names and stuff, those are great gestures. But that's what they are. They're just gestures. It's just posturing. You're just patronizing me. They're great gestures, yes, and I appreciate that. But you're not changing the system. You can take down Confederate statues. You can change the name of Robert E. Lee. I don't care. But you're not changing the system. You're basically doing the same thing you've always done, which is, look at me, I'm the good one. When you're really not. You're just trying to placate me until just to say, please don't hurt me. Which, Yeah. Um, I'm at a loss for words at this point. I'm trying not to name all the names that are out there, but because once again, well, fuck it at this point, the videos can get suppressed. With your Breonna Taylors and your George Floyds and your Philando Castiles and your Eric Garners in the world. These are all. The sad part is that all of these have one thing in common, minus Breonna Taylor. Thank God someone caught it on video, and I can't believe we're at that point where we have to say, thank God someone who looks like me is being screwed by the system or what have you, and we caught it on video. And yet there's some people who I feel like I'm in a simulation of the freaking Matrix. Like there's people who so helplessly dependent upon it, so dependent upon the system, so helplessly inert, and that they'll do anything they can to protect the system just because it's there. And that was almost damn, if I remember right, yeah, they'll do anything to protect the system. Minus a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much a direct quote from the Matrix, if I remember right. Morpheus, and and that's what some of the people that I see. I know this is a little long, and I'm sorry, but I don't care at this point. I don't want to say I've stopped caring, but more or less I have. I've given up, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can do this, you can do this." No, I can't. I can't. And it's what we call in psychology, or what we call in another field, what we call learned helplessness, because there's, where you use the system against me for long enough, and I just give up on the system. I give up not doing anything. The best way to win is to not play. And I'm a citizen that goes out and votes. I'm trying to get other people to sign up to vote and do things like that. I'm someone who's done quite a few things, and but it seems like I can't get by, I can't get forward, I can't even get my voice heard. For the first time in history, second time in history now, people of color are getting their voice heard finally. But it feels like we're not getting heard. You're hearing us, but you're not listening to us, if that makes sense. And you're not making any impactful systematic change. And I'm glad people are getting fired because they're, blowing up at the retail location for not wearing a mask. Thank you. Get rid of, for, not wanting to take care of your fellow citizen, what have you. But Breonna Taylor's killers are still not arrested. I have now, to kind of put it in perspective, there's a meme going around where I forgot what it was. Something lasted longer. Yeah, something lasted longer than the Confederacy or whatever. And in this case, Breonna Taylor's killers are still not arrested or what have you, and the investigation into Watergate, it lasted longer than this. Lasted longer. They caught those guys. Man, they caught them really quick, but they can't catch these guys, and they're wearing badges. I understand there's a thing called qualified immunity. Once again, I am college educated, but qualified immunity shouldn't make someone immune from killing another human. Doesn't matter what color they are, who they are, they kill a human. That bugs me. That people defend that. And not only defend it hard too. Like they're evangelical about it. It bothers me. I've got a particular person on my Facebook who I used to work with, I mean, he defends some of this stuff hard. Like, man, what is wrong with you? Don't, if you're gonna, I just want to see the pro killing this human side of this argument. Like, honest to God, the pro killing this human and the pro keeping rapists alive thing, and the pro, not wearing masks thing. I want to hear that argument. I honest to God do. Please, but I do ask you a few things. Please do not quote Alex Jones. Please do not quote anything Breitbart or Fox News. And please don't quote anything that is not researched. Those are the three things that I ask. It's not a hard ask. I really do want to hear that opinion. Because I don't know where it comes from. But once again, I'm in a process of new beginnings, and I figured, in my head, I also feel like I'm also kind of at the end of things, at the end of a new era in my life, and I've been in this apartment for a while, and for a long, long while. Glad I'm moving, but I can't afford to move. Anyways, that's neither here nor there again. I don't know, man. I don't know how. I can tell you how to fix the problem. It's really easy. Again, as a person of color, I can tell you how to fix it. It's very, very, very easy to fix, but you don't want to hear it. Non-native people, which would be white people, so even some of my people, but basically non-white white Americans, you need to just shut the fuck up on this one. Just let us have this one. You need to just shut the fuck up here. Just let us have this one. You need to learn you've already taken an L once before. When I speak of that L, I'm talking about the Civil War. Yeah, I'm still on that. You took an L once before, and I'm surprised you're defending that L. You took an L once before, and this one, just take the L, just be quiet and let us have this one. You just let us have it, man. You guys, you just need to let us have this one. Let us have our right. It's a basic human rights. Just let us kind of live, and you need to start prosecuting. Holding citizens accountable. Citizens, not just regular people, me. I'm talking firefighters, police officers, politicians. Hold them accountable. And it's really easy to hold them accountable. It's not hard. The whole... I understand money greases palms, and I understand a lot of these people are paid, and we perceive money as power. Or we perceive that authority is power, but that's not true. I know, wonderful law enforcement officers. I know, some wonderful people in that field. But sorry, you kind of get screwed by the ones who are not, in my view. You kind of. You get tainted by that. And again, as a person of color, sorry, I know I have a biased view, but that's my viewpoint of the world. That's how I view the world, because that is what I know. I mean, if you would show me some of the courtesy and some of the opportunity that you had, I mean, you would maybe I might change my viewpoint, but sorry, I won't. I've drawn my line in the sand. I planted my feet. I'm not moving. You move. I was, but that's how we fix it. Hold them accountable. It's just that simple. I mean, and start paying attention to when, you're being, racism as a whole is a thing. It's always been a thing. Most of it is not overt. A lot of it is what we call covert or unconscious. Notice when you're doing it. I mean, that's all we've asked is just acknowledge that, you're being kind of fucked up. That's a really easy way to fix it. I mean, income inequality, there's a lot of other ways to fix it, but I mean, those are just the two biggest things. Systemic change. My biggest thing is systemic change is just start holding people accountable. That's it. But yeah, I've gone on my rant. I've get on my soap. I have a huge soapbox. I'm not going to continue being on this. Well, I could be on the soapbox. I'm not going to. But yeah, that is my 2 cents. And yeah, but yeah, that's my kind of thoughts. And we just need to keep this up. But yeah, see you later.